You walked across a room today. You didn't think about it once. Your feet found the floor. Your weight shifted forward. Your body followed. Automatic, effortless, invisible. But here is the strange part. You were falling the entire time. Every step you take begins as a fall. You lean forward, gravity grabs you, and just before your face meets the ground, one leg swings out to catch you. Then you do it again, and again, and again. Walking is not a smooth glide across the floor. It is a controlled emergency, repeated thousands of times a day, performed so fast and so practiced that you stopped noticing the danger entirely. You think you are walking, but the real answer is far stranger. You are falling forward on purpose, trusting a leg you cannot see to save you every single time. No other animal on earth moves the way you do. Watch a dog cross a yard. Watch a cat. Watch a chimpanzee, your closest living relative on the planet. They move on 4 limbs, low and balanced, weight spread wide, stable, and safe. Then look down at yourself. You balance your entire body on top of 2 thin stilts with your heaviest, most precious organ, your brain, perched at the very top, as far from the ground as it can possibly be. From an engineering standpoint, it is absurd. It is a tower built upside down, top-heavy, tipping, always one missed step from disaster. So why would evolution ever build something this unstable on purpose? The answer is buried in volcanic ash, in Tanzania, frozen for 3.5 million years. In 1978, a researcher named Mary Leakey was working a site called Letoli. Her team uncovered something that should not have survived. Pressed into a layer of ancient hardened ash were footprints, not animal tracks. Footprints. 2 creatures had walked across that ground 3.5 million years ago, upright, side by side, leaving a trail almost identical to the ones your own feet leave in wet sand. There were no knuckle marks, no tail drag, just the unmistakable heel-to-toe roll of a foot pressing down exactly the way yours does. These were not humans. Their brains were barely a third the size of yours, and yet they were already walking upright, long before fire, long before language, long before anything you would recognize as a mind. Read that again. They walked before they could think. For a long time, people assumed it happened the other way around. Surely the big brain came first, and then the clever ape stood up to free its hands. But the bones tell the opposite story. Standing up came first. The brain came much later. Something about rising onto 2 legs was so valuable that evolution committed to it for millions of years before it handed your ancestors anything resembling intelligence. So what could possibly have been worth it? 4 years before those footprints were found, in 1974, a researcher named Donald Johanson uncovered a skeleton in Ethiopia. He named her Lucy. She was tiny, barely over a meter tall, and she had lived 3.2 million years ago. Her skull was ape-like, her brain was small, but her hips, her knees, her spine, those belonged to a creature built to walk upright. The hole at the base of her skull, where the spinal cord enters, sat underneath her head instead of behind it, exactly where yours sits, the telltale signature of a head balanced on top of a vertical body. Lucy did not just climb, Lucy walked, and she did it on a body caught precisely halfway between the trees and the open ground. Standing up changed everything, and almost all of it should have been a catastrophe. Think about what your ancestors gave up. On 2 legs, they became slower than nearly every predator on the savannah. They exposed a soft belly and an unguarded throat to the world. They made themselves taller, more visible, easier to spot across open grass. They traded the rock-solid safety of 4 limbs for the constant low-grade risk of toppling over. By every obvious measure, walking upright was a terrible bet. So how did it ever win? Because of what it gave back. Standing up freed the hands. Hands that could now carry food, carry infants, carry tools, carry water across distances no 4-legged animal could dream of crossing. And there was something else hidden inside the simple act of walking, something written into the math of movement itself. Walking on 2 legs is shockingly cheap. A researcher named Herman Ponce has spent years measuring exactly how much fuel it costs animals to move, and the human walk turns out to be one of the most efficient ways of traveling in the entire animal kingdom. You burn almost nothing to cover ground. A chimpanzee walking the same distance spends far more energy than you do. Your ancestors did not win by being fast. They won by being able to go and go and go until everything else gave out. And this is where it gets stranger. Scientists studying how you walk discovered that your body behaves like a pendulum. With each step, your weight rises.